Welcome to an experimental video where I'm just going to be praising literal weapons in a Roblox game. Why am I literally ranking weapons on this Roblox game? Because this Roblox game does not have the issues Roblox has. It has an actual good cosmetic system unlike Roblox. It's not pay to win unlike all the other Roblox games, and so on. Where I considered this for years now the best Roblox game to have ever been released. I don't think there'll be any game better on Roblox than Roblox Wild West. None of them come even close. Okay, is all of these short attention span TikTok users are gone? Okay, good, I can start the tier list now. That's why I've been going on praising this game for 30 seconds. So the first weapon is the Occult Blade. The Occult Blade does 40 damage. It literally does almost the same animations as the Kukuri. It's balanced for what it's going for. Like, it's just there to show you that, look, I got that in the event, or got that in trading. And this reskin bow, why even use this? Nah, like, seriously, why use this? Like, literally, there's no use for this at all in PvP at all. Now, for the spear, I'm gonna rank this instantly in OP for good reasons. It can clip through walls, it does good damage, it can counter most melee users, it's good for horse PvP, and so on. Now, the dynamite, I think it is close to OP or very good, because it's an incredibly cheap item that gives you, like, overpowered results. Like, if you time it correctly, it can one-shot obliterate players and destroy fort walls and so on. And also, this needle, or I'll just call it extractor for now, the extractor is basically an OP melee weapon because it heals you. For like weapon combinations, this thing can literally make you tank more hits, since it heals 15 HP every 10 or 5 seconds. And the ways to make it easier to counter is bannable, so I'm gonna have to put in very good for that reason. If the ways to make it easier to counter was not bannable, it would be indecent at most. But still, like, lasso is really difficult to use. The problem with the lasso is clearly the hitbox is incredibly small. It's difficult to hit anybody with it, especially in like horse PvP and so on, where look at how long it's taken me to lasso him. And even if you lasso it, they will rage quit and leave so they don't get the bounty removed, meaning you don't get any money out of it. Like, essentially, lassos is just very easy to counter and people just leave and rejoin the game. If the lassos where if you hit them instantly where it will be thrown to jail, I could see how it's OP, but the problem is like you have to lasso them, then go right towards them depending the distance, then you have to use the grab animation and put them back down. And if they're wanted to make sure they don't get free, you have to obliterate them as quickly as possible since it has a 10-second cooldown until they get arrested and stuff like that. And I believe there is an alternative to lasso that is better, which I will get to that item later. Now, lightning bow, it essentially increases the fire rate of it, and if it's raining, it increases the damage on it. It's fine, like, it's literally a faster fire rate bow at most, or decent, to be fair. And the Mozza, I mean, it's 10 low damaging bullets that has an automatic reload. I think it's a decent weapon at most. And for the Model 3 event item, I think it fixes all of the weaknesses Model 3 has, so it has to be very good. The Gaincot weapons I'll explain later, but Gaincot pistol is balanced at most, and I'll explain why later. I don't think it's like the worst of the worst weapons. Axe Goni, I mean, the uses for this is like decent at most. I mean, it's a good melee, and it literally has a 60 damage bullet. And now we got the overpriced weapons. So far, Lancaster, I believe they buffed, so I'm gonna put in like OP, because it's literally the best horse PvP weapon in the entire game. And then, like, the weapon I believe is the most overrated, the Patterson. But I'm gonna put in, like, OP for now, because it is, like, massive damaging bullets. Like, you have 6 bullets that does, like, a ton of damage. And if you have a sled, the sled flat out redeems the pact, where it could be good for horse PvP if you have a sled. So now the Gaincot rifle. Now I have to explain why this is, in my opinion, an underrated, very good weapon. Since this rifle has no value in trading, and flat out no one wants it in trading for a reason. Because the biggest reason why people call the Gaincot rifle bad is people just stand still and shoot it, and I'm shaking the camera left and right saying, no, that's how you use the Gaincot. You need to constantly move around and spam as much bullets as possible. This will counter the Martini and the Hardford rifle, which is high damaging bullets, where you make those high accurate rifles to be inaccurate. And also, what I showed you is this shift shooting technique, where essentially I'm just shooting by one click at a time. With one click, instead of holding it, you're making the rifle more accurate, meaning it will land more of its shot. Because if you're spam shooting that much bullets while moving around, then it becomes more difficult to hit you, meaning the 80 bullets can overwhelm the player and they can lose 1v1s. Like, yes, it does low damage, but its fire rate's, like, incredibly quick for it, so I believe it's a very good rifle. And then we got the most overpriced weapon in the game. I believe it deserves in balance for what it's going for. They nerfed the ever-loving hell out of it, and it's balanced. Now, actual weapons I got now. The Kukuri, I think, is in very good, from my experience with it. The reason why it has two hitboxes, the first one's incredibly quick, and the other one is slow, and the very quick one hitbox is almost non-existent. Yeah, and Cursed Volcanic and Frozen Volcanic is instantly in OP, because they are like high damaging weapons, with fast fire rates, with a fan that makes the shots unpredictable. And Frozen Bow, it slows players down, so it's very good for horse PvP, so I would put in very good for that reason. Same with the Frozen Axe. The Frozen Axe is very good for horse PvP since it does 50 damage. And I'm going to speedrun all the basic ones. That is balanced. That is balanced because you can't shift shoot with it. This one is actually good because it's an automatic weapon and you can overwhelm players with it. Now, Hardford Rifle. Hardford Rifle is instantly an OP because this is the best rifle to get if you have, like, not high damaging weapons, meaning you don't have an auction house gun yet. That is the best time to get a Hardford Rifle, while Martini is the best for auction house weapons. These two rifles are incredibly OP if you're able to get hit on it. And also, I'm fixing the order just to talk about the proto. Essentially, the prototype is just way too OP. Even with the nerfs, I still believe it's too goddamn overpowered. Well, I feel like the proto should do 20 to 18 damage until I can put in very good, due to how fast its reload is and how fast its fire rate is. Because proto can literally make you win 1v5s and 1v6. I've tested it, and I still believe it needs a nerf. Now, this one I'm going to be confused on, because both of the weapons look the exact same. One of them is a shotgun, and one of them is a Winchester rifle. I'm going to guess that is the Winchester rifle, where I believe that is an OP rifle, and the shotgun being balanced at most. And this bow, I feel like, is decent at most, because it's just a buffed version of the original bow. And the most difficult pistol to use should be indecent, and all the shotguns deserve to be very low. And the reason why majority of the shotguns is balanced at best, or flat out why even use this at worst, is because look at this guy. The guy has no idea what he's doing, and he's trying to rely on the shotgun. I'm not even trying. He has 1 HP left. I'm letting him hit me, and what's that? 30 damage on that. And shotguns are supposed to do half or 100% damage. And the problem with shotguns is shotguns are only good in this game is if you're right near the player. And the problem with going right near the player is that it will make your weapon significantly more inaccurate. This video is an example of it. If you're near a wall, then it will become more inaccurate. I mean, yeah, you could fix that with first person, but first person PvP here, especially with shift shooting, basically makes your weapon impossible to hit. This game is not designed for first person PvP, aside for like 2 rifles, and that's it. So yeah, that's why all the shotguns are being ranked really low. Like, it's a close range weapon, where if you go in close range, the weapon becomes more inaccurate, meaning less pellets hit. And yes, I put the sniper in balance because to use it, it will waste your stamina trying to get it to be accurate. Then this one I'll speedrun through because this weapon is decent from what I've experienced, and now actual good weapons now. The Linux has strongest penetration, has 99% accuracy, does good damage. That is literally OP. You can literally shoot through walls in this, and it's like a cheap rifle, so it has to be an OP. And the beginning rifle, it literally got buffed, so I'm gonna have to put in very good. And the Peacekeeper is like fine. It's like the first weapon you get. It's fine for what it's going for. And now we got why even use this. This one could have been a good item if you didn't spend that much money on it. This bow I don't care about whatsoever, where I question why even use this. This is an event weapon that's unobtainable and you can't store in the back, so it's way too OP. And then the axes, like the first axe is borderline useless, there's no reason to have it. The second one I can maybe justify to balance because it's better. The third one is decent and is like the best axe that you could obtain that's not ridiculously expensive. And now the baton. I'm gonna say a hot take here. Baton is literally way too OP. Because if you have a fast horse and basically make your size max size, which is the best for melee since you're at the max speed if you're max height size with this game. Because this is an example, you can go right near them, and if you go that close range, the weapon becomes inaccurate, and due to how fast the baton's fire rate is, you can just two-shot stun someone and instantly arrest them if they have a bounty. And the baton has like a faster fire rate than the Kukuri, so this is basically the better version of the Kukuri, and plus no one rage quits when they get hit by a baton, meaning you earn more money with this than the lasso. And the baton, you just hit them twice and then use the handcuffs to arrest them. So essentially, you can just arrest someone instantly with baton, unlike the lasso, where the lasso takes time, meaning you have time to rage quit out of there. So incredibly fast fire rate, can two-shot stun someone, and if they have a wanted level, you can just one-shot get them through jail. And if you have like a fast horse, you can flat obliterate players in horse PvP with this. And this item is literally for free. Literally any new player can use this and will be incredibly helpful for PvP if you're struggling. And if that's not OP enough, only 2 players are allowed to use a baton. That's how OP it is. Only 2 players are allowed with it. Because you need to be a chef to have a baton, and there's no way to pay to use a baton. Then we got more why use this, you got like joke items, then you got the reskin shotguns that literally does not, and the reskin knife as well. Then we gotta have the new tier for this, nah. This is the worst weapon in the game, and don't waste real life money on this. There is nothing redeemable about this weapon. And then we got way more joke items, obviously. Oh yeah, we're nearly finished because it's mostly admin weapons at this point now. So essentially, the volcanics here are very good weapons because I already was gonna praise the frozen volcanic and the cursed volcanic due to the good damage, fan fire rate to make the shots unpredictable. And also the volcanics only cost $50, so new players can literally get these weapons and be very OP instantly in this game in PvP. And the Game Pass weapon, I forgot what name it is very good. And the admin weapons are obviously more overpowered than every other obtainable weapon in this game, so I won't even bother ranking them. So essentially, the final result is this nice looking accurate tier list here. I mean, I would have added the sled, but the sled is more of a transport thing than just knocking horses out. But if the sled was in this tier list, it would be an OP because they actually nerfed it. So yeah, I feel like this tier list for me is going to be accurate for a long time because this game almost never updates. It mostly had like event updates every year and that's it, and events are temporary. So yeah, I'm gonna end the vid here. If you have any issues with the placements I put in these weapons, just tell me and I could explain it way more in depth. So I'm gonna end the video here and goodbye.